Manchester United's midfield rebuild has taken another fascinating turn, with Andrey Santos emerging as one of the club's most intriguing transfer targets. The 21-year-old Brazilian, currently under contract with Chelsea, is quietly developing into one of Europe's most complete young midfielders. But why does his name keep appearing whenever United look for midfield reinforcements? By the end of this breakdown, you'll understand exactly why this move makes sense. Before discussing his playing style, let's look at the numbers. Across his loan spells and appearances for Chelsea, Santos has produced outstanding statistics. He wins duels consistently, while also progressing the ball with confidence and intelligence. That combination is extremely rare for a player of his age. Most young defensive midfielders prioritize defensive security and struggle to move the ball forward effectively. Santos manages to combine both qualities, making him a unique profile. That rare balance is exactly why Manchester United's scouting department has continued monitoring Santos over multiple transfer windows without making their interest too obvious. Before we go any further, if you're enjoying this kind of detailed football analysis, don't forget to subscribe because there's much more to uncover about why Santos could transform United's midfield. So what makes him different on the pitch? Santos is a ball-winning midfielder with the vision and composure of a deep-lying playmaker. Instead of simply tackling and clearing danger, he wins possession cleanly and immediately looks for the smartest forward option. Under pressure, his first touch remains calm and controlled. He shields the ball, turns away from opponents, and finds passing lanes that most players never even notice. Those qualities cannot easily be coached. They come from natural football intelligence, awareness, timing, and outstanding decision-making. That football intelligence is something Manchester United have lacked in midfield for years. Since losing a dominant, deep-lying presence capable of controlling matches, United have struggled to dictate tempo consistently. Santos could help change that. He is not simply a midfielder who sits in front of the defense and wins tackles. His ability to carry the ball under pressure has improved every season, allowing him to break opposition presses instead of just surviving them. Think about how often United become trapped inside their own half with no safe passing options available. Santos offers a solution because he already knows his next move before the pressure even arrives. His awareness allows him to receive possession confidently, escape tight situations, and move the team forward quickly. That kind of composure could completely change the way United build attacks from deep while reducing costly turnovers in dangerous areas. Now here's a question for every United fan watching. Does this team need a ball-winning midfielder first, or someone who can control possession and distribute passes? Santos might actually give you both. Defensively, his profile is incredibly impressive for a player who is still only 21 years old. He reads second balls brilliantly, anticipates danger before it develops, and prefers interceptions over reckless challenges. Instead of diving into tackles, he stays disciplined, wins possession cleanly, and quickly restarts attacks. His recovery speed is another major strength, allowing him to cover large spaces whenever the team loses shape. As his body continues to develop, there is every reason to believe his athletic level will improve even further. If Manchester United truly want to fix their transition defending, Santos looks less like another transfer gamble and more like a genuine long-term solution to a problem that has existed for years. Of course, Santos is not the finished product, and pretending otherwise would be unfair. Like every young midfielder, he still has areas that need improvement. His long-range passing can be inconsistent, especially when switching play quickly under pressure. While he is excellent at threading short and medium passes through crowded midfield areas, those 40-yard diagonal balls do not always reach their target. Chelsea's coaches have reportedly been working on that part of his game, and any club signing him would continue that development. Physically, he is strong for his age, but the intensity of the Premier League could still test him against experienced, powerful midfielders over a full 90 minutes. During the demanding festive schedule, where matches arrive every few days, maintaining the same level of consistency and energy would become one of his biggest challenges. From a tactical perspective, this is where things become especially exciting. Imagine Santos operating just ahead of the back four, winning possession and immediately driving the team forward whenever the ball is recovered. That is not just a theoretical role. It is exactly how he has developed at club level. It also fits what Manchester United's current midfield desperately needs. Santos would not arrive as a headline-grabbing superstar expected to dominate every newspaper. Instead, he would be the type of intelligent signing who quietly improves everyone around him. By taking responsibility for the defensive work, he allows more creative midfielders to focus on creating chances higher up the pitch. His presence would bring greater balance, stronger defensive protection, and smoother transitions from defense into attack, giving United a much stronger platform to control matches throughout the season consistently. System fit is just as important as talent when evaluating a player like Santos. Picture him protecting the back four, while an attacking midfielder is given the freedom to push forward without worrying about defensive responsibilities. That partnership only succeeds if the deeper midfielder can recover possession quickly and recycle the ball with composure. Those are exactly the qualities Santos brings. He is not the type of player who will top the assist charts or dominate social media highlights every weekend. Instead, his influence appears in the overall balance of the team. With reliable protection behind them, United's creative players could take more risks knowing someone is covering the space they leave behind. That kind of tactical security often makes an entire midfield function better, even if the player providing it rarely receives the headlines or individual praise after the final whistle. If this transfer appears so logical, many supporters naturally wonder why it has not happened already. The biggest obstacle is Chelsea's reluctance to sell a player they still rate highly. Financial demands also play a major role, especially because several European clubs have started monitoring Santos closely after his recent performances. Increased interest almost always pushes the asking price higher. Despite that competition, reports suggest Manchester United's recruitment team has tracked Santos for a long time and continues to admire his profile. Their patience could eventually be rewarded if Chelsea decide their midfield has become overcrowded, or if another opportunity opens during negotiations. Sometimes the smartest transfers are not completed quickly. Instead, they depend on timing, market conditions, and waiting for the perfect moment when every piece finally falls into place for both clubs involved. Looking at the bigger picture, Manchester United have not possessed a true ball-winning and ball-playing midfielder in the same player for many years. Most midfield signings have specialized in one area while lacking the other. Some offered creativity but struggled defensively, while others protected the defense without contributing enough in possession. Santos has the potential to bridge that gap. That balanced profile explains why several smart recruitment departments across Europe have identified him as a player whose value could rise dramatically in the coming seasons. If United move before that happens, they could secure one of the game's brightest young midfielders before his price climbs beyond reach. For a club trying to rebuild sustainably rather than relying on expensive short-term fixes, investing in a player with this combination of quality, potential, and versatility makes complete football sense. If you've stayed with this analysis so far, you're probably interested in the finer details because there is still plenty to discuss before reaching a final verdict. The biggest question many fans ask is whether Santos would immediately improve Manchester United or if he is simply another exciting young player generating transfer headlines. The answer depends largely on the environment around him. Place Santos in a disorganized midfield with little tactical structure and his strengths become far less effective. However, surround him with a clear system, disciplined teammates, and a coach who understands how to use a progressive defensive midfielder, and his qualities become much more valuable. He has the awareness to screen the defense, the composure to beat the press, and the intelligence to keep attacks flowing smoothly. Those strengths could elevate the performance of the entire midfield unit rather than just improving his own displays. Another important factor is Santos's long-term potential. At just 21 years old, he is still years away from reaching his physical and tactical peak. Most elite defensive midfielders produce their best football between the ages of 26 and 28, meaning Santos still has enormous room for development. Signing him now would not simply strengthen next season's squad. It could secure a midfielder capable of leading the team for many years. Compare that with older, more expensive targets currently linked with United. While they may offer greater short-term certainty, they also come with higher transfer fees, lower resale value, and fewer peak seasons remaining. Santos represents a different type of investment, one focused on growth, longevity, and building a squad that improves over time instead of constantly replacing aging players every few transfer windows with costly short-term solutions. Even with those uncertainties, Andrey Santos remains one of the smartest midfield options available for Manchester United this summer. He offers the balance, discipline, and long-term potential this squad has been missing for years. While he may not be the biggest headline signing, he could become the player who quietly transforms the entire midfield. If the deal happens at a sensible price, it has every chance of becoming one of the club's best pieces of business in recent seasons. Now it's your turn. Do you think Andrey Santos is the missing piece United have been searching for? Or should the club focus on a different midfielder instead? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below because I'd love to hear your opinion. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss the latest Manchester United transfer updates. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.